Good evening. Today we are continuing with part 2 of our series of our book, From Easter Love Letters from God. It's written by Glennis Nellis and illustrated by Sophie Alsop. Our first story is titled, The Secret Supper. It comes from Luke chapter 22, verses 14 through 20, and John chapter 14, verses 1 through 6. The disciples were ready for their secret supper with Jesus. Their feet were clean, the table was set, they were hungry. But Jesus was quiet. His eyes were sad as he looked around the table at his friends. He knew this was the last meal he would ever eat with them. Jesus picked up a loaf of bread and broke it. The disciples watched as crumbs fell to the table. This broken bread is like my body, Jesus said. My body will be broken for you. Then Jesus took a pitcher of wine. The disciples watched as he filled the cup. This wine is like my blood, Jesus said softly. Whenever you eat bread and whenever you drink wine, remember me. What did Jesus mean? The disciples were scared. It sounded like he was going to leave them. Don't let your hearts be troubled, Jesus said. I'm going somewhere wonderful. You can't come with me yet, but one day I will come back and take you there. It's a beautiful, happy place with lots of rooms. It's a home that's big enough for everyone, and I'm going to get it ready for you. The disciples were still worried. How would they know how to get to the special place? But Jesus told them, I am the way, Jesus whispered. Believe in me. Be like me. Live like me. Love like me. Because I am the way to heaven. We've received another love letter from God. Dear everyone, close your eyes. I want you to imagine a big, beautiful home with so many rooms you can't count them. Imagine every room is filled with love, laughter, and happiness. It's a place you never want to leave because of all the fun, joy, and peace there. Open your eyes. You just imagined my home in heaven. Jesus wants everyone in the whole world to live there with him. And the best part is that my home is not hard to find. All you need to do is believe in Jesus, and he will show you the way. Love, God. Our next story is titled, The Gloomy Garden, and it comes from Mark chapter 14, verses 32 to 42. Darkness fell as the disciples followed Jesus out into the night. Jesus walked through the quiet streets toward the Garden of Gethsemane. He wanted to pray. The moon shone through the olive trees as Jesus knelt down. The garden was gloomy. All was still. Father, are you there? Jesus said quietly. Do I have to die? Is there any other way that we can teach the world about heaven? There was no reply. Jesus sobbed. He didn't want to die, but he trusted God. And even though he felt all alone, he knew that God was with him. He was ready. The sound of heavy footsteps broke the silence of the night. Angry shouts filled the air. Jesus looked up through his tears. Shadowy figures came toward him, torches flickering in the darkness. The soldiers were there to take him away. Jesus stood up. It was time to go. We've got another love letter from God. Let's check it out. Dear everyone, have you ever felt alone like Jesus did that night? When you feel like that, I want you to remember something very important. You are never alone. I am always by your side. Those soldiers might have taken Jesus away from the garden, but they could never take him away from me. And there is nothing that can ever take you away from me either. Remember this promise. I am always with you. Love, God. We will continue this book later this week. Good night, everybody.